Hello everyone and welcome back to me, Shiva Wilson, and my channel which is all about legalising adult use cannabis in the UK, hashtag LCUK. Now today I have a very special episode for you, Green Dwarf. Yes, I'm going to be combining weed with Red Dwarf, all for entertainment purposes only of course. Well, if you know Red Dwarf, you're probably wondering why they haven't made this episode themselves. Well, that's why I'm here, to inject weed into anything I can. Now, about the artwork, some of it is absolutely terrible and vaguely amusing, so have fun with it. Seriously though, this is going to be a good episode, so strap in, get the goldfish shoals to stop nibbling at your toes, and watch this. Green Dwarf. Interior of Green Dwarf, the bridge. The crew is at their usual positions. Lister is lounging in his seat. Rimmer is fussing over star charts. Crichton is tidying the console. And Cat is admiring himself in a mirror. Holly on screen. Alert! I'm picking up an unidentified object on the radar. Lister says, let's see what we've got, Hol. Any chance it's the takeaway I ordered 3 million years ago? Holly says, unlikely. Putting it on screen now. The screen reveals a massive green crystalline structure floating in space. Crichton says, sirs, it appears to be a colossal nugget of, well, cannabis sativa. Cat, wide-eyed, is it me, or does that space rock look good enough to eat? Rimmer, indignant, cannabis? In space? What is the universe coming to? This is a violation of several space regulations, I'm sure. Lister, grinning, I dunno. It could be a blessing. Imagine the size of the munchies. Crichton, sir, I must advise against any interaction with it. The effects on spacefaring life forms are completely undocumented. Lister, smirking, come on, Rimsey. Aren't you even a bit curious? We could be the first to make space brownies. Rimmer, absolutely not. I refuse to partake in any activities that could jeopardize this crew. Although, scanning it for scientific purposes might be in order. Cat, already wearing a spacesuit. Yeah, you all enjoy your little science lesson. I'm getting a spacesuit. That hunk of grass might clash with my outfit, but I gotta get a closer look. Crichton, alarmed. Sir, I strongly recommend against interacting with it physically. Lister, yeah, Cat, we don't want you floating off on some cosmic trip we can't handle. Sorry about the accents. Cat, snapping his fingers. Fine, suit yourself. But if that thing starts growing legs and walks away, don't say I didn't try to make it my new pet. Holly, I'd love to stay and chat about colossal space nuggets, but I'm off to check the status of our air filters. Somehow I think they're about to get a workout. Lister, whispering to Crichton, think we can collect some of it? You know, purely for research. Crichton sighs. With this crew, sir, I suppose anything is possible. The crew exchanges a mixture of amused and exasperated looks as they gaze at the magnificent space nugget drifting by. End scene. Interior, Green Dwarf in the cargo bay. Lister is rummaging through various crates, assembling makeshift equipment like nets and containers. Rimmer, Crichton and Cat enter, watching with a mix of amusement and concern. Lister, right lads, I figured it out. We're going to harvest that beauty and have a lifetime supply of cosmic greenery. Rimmer, arms crossed, Lister, this is lunacy. We can't just go collecting every giant pot asteroid we come across. Lister, why not? With all the stale vending machine curry I've been eating, a little herbal remedy would be a welcome change. Crichton, sir, while I understand your enthusiasm, might I remind you of the numerous potential side effects, not to mention the legal ramifications? Cat, leaning in, legal schmeagle. Besides, if we play this right, we can have exclusive rights to the hottest new thing in the galaxy. Catnip's got nothing on this. Rimmer, and what about the dangers? Unknown space chemicals interacting with our delicate human genomes. You might turn even more Neanderthal, Lister. Lister. Luke, we won't know until we try, right? Besides, isn't it my duty to explore new frontiers, to boldly get, well, you know the rest. Crichton, nervously polishing a metal plate. Sir, the consequences could be unpredictable at best. You must proceed with extreme caution. Holly on screen. Hey guys, if you're planning on bagging that space leaf, you might want to consider the increased oxygen demand. We'll be venting air faster than a tea kettle on overdrive. Cat, grinning. So what do? Go out there and just nibble on it? Maybe fashion a designer net for safe extraction? Lister. Exactly. We'll use my patented space nugget net. Gestures to a tangle of wires and fabric. Crichton, you're the tech genius. Help me rig this up, will you? Crichton, resigned sigh. Very well, sir, but I'll need a promise that all safety protocols will be followed. I don't want to be responsible for, a crew of spaced-out individuals incapable of managing their duties. Rimmer, mumbling. As if they're managing now. Lister, clapping Rimmer on the back. That's the spirit. We'll be the first cosmic cannabis farmers. Green Dwarf will be remembered not just as a mining ship, but as a pioneer in space horticulture. The crew springs into a reluctant sort of action, combining their efforts in a predictably chaotic yet determined manner. End scene. Interior of Green Dwarf in the recreation room. The room is filled with a hazy atmosphere as the crew sits together, having successfully harvested the space nugget. Lister has rolled up a few makeshift space joints, and everyone's ready to try them. Lister, grinning. All right, everyone. Time to see what this cosmic wonder's all about. Grab a seat and enjoy the ride. Lister passes a joint to Rimmer, who hesitantly accepts it, and then hands one to Crichton, who's wired a small device to his processor. Crichton explaining. I've designed a simulated stoner program that adjusts my endocannabinoid circuits. Scientific curiosity, you see. Rimmer, sniffing the joint. I'm not sure about this. If my mum saw me now, I'd be grounded for eternity. Lister. Relax, Rimsy. You're a hologram with a hard light drive now. What's the worst that could happen? Cat, swishing in. I still say catnip's more my speed, but hey, when in space. With everyone set, they share a moment of camaraderie before taking a collective inhale. After a beat, the effects start to kick in. Holly on screen, slurring slightly. I've activated the intoxication drive. Gotta admit, it's rather mellow. Like running at low power but with a disco ball in my circuits. Rimmer, leaning back, pleasantly surprised. I must say, this is rather soothing. Almost as if I can feel the time-space continuum relaxing around me. Crichton, with a mechanical sigh. Fascinating. The simulation is producing results akin to a low-level dopamine interaction, kind of like when I successfully descale the laundry unit. Cat, sniffing. I could get used to this. It's like a bath of warm milk after a fish buffet. They all sit in a relaxed stupor, appreciating the novelty of the experience. Lister, grinning. It's not every day you get high off a chunk of space rock. I reckon we've outdone ourselves this time. Rimmer, eyes half closed. You know, for smegheads we do all right. Space exploration should come with more of these perks. Crichton, contentedly. Indeed, sir. Logically speaking, this is perhaps the most illogical use of our time, and I rather like it. They all share a laugh, basking in the absurdity of their situation and enjoying the rare moment of peace and unity aboard Green Dwarf. Holly, fading voice. Well, before we float off entirely, remember we're still a few parsecs from the nearest repair station. Do save some brain cells for the journey, lads. They all nod, a silent agreement to savour the tranquility. Just another day on the most oddball mining ship in the universe. End scene. Interior of Green Dwarf in the recreation room. The hazy atmosphere thickens as the effects of the space nugget take an unexpected turn. The crew sits in a contented stupor, but soon their expressions change to mild concern. Lister, looking around. All right, is it just me, or does everything feel a bit weirder than usual? Holly on screen. I'm glad you said it, Dave. I've been running diagnostics, and everything seems unusually wavy. Rimmer, eyes wide. Do you hear that buzzing? It's like there are thousands of tiny drones swarming around. Crichton, checking internal sensors. Oh dear, I seem to have detected a presence. Gentlemen, it may be possible we've inadvertently brought something on board. Cat, batting at the air. You mean there's something else here with us? Something messing with my fabulous fur? They all pause, focusing on the quiet buzzing that seems to echo in the room. Collective paranoia starts to take hold. Lister, nervously. No way. You don't think it's some kind of space nugget insect, do you? Rimmer, jumping up. Of course! Weed space weevils. That's what it is. They must have been nesting in the nugget. Crichton, wide-eyed. It makes sense. A perfect breeding ground for tiny extraterrestrial aphids. They could be anywhere, unraveling the very fabric of our ship. Holly, sounding dreamy. I'm trying to calculate the probability, but I keep getting infinity. Curious. Cat, panicking. Get them off me! I can't have anything chewing on my threads. Think of the style damage. The crew begins swatting at imaginary creatures, adding to their comically exaggerated paranoia. Lister, waving hands. Everyone, stay calm. We need a plan. Crichton, any ideas on how to flush them out? Crichton, snapping to action. Yes, sir. Might I suggest a ship-wide decontamination protocol? It would serve as a thorough cleansing of any unseen intruders. Rimmer, nodding fervently. Yes, yes. Activate the bug zappers and thrusters. We can't let them burrow into our circuitry. The crew frantically sets about initiating a cleansing routine, pressing buttons and flipping switches at random, all while trying to dodge the imaginary invaders. Holly. I've got a song queued up to scare them off. It's the Buggy Boogie. Real high-pitched. Should work a treat. Cat, shaking his head. Who knew fashion could be under attack from invisible space invaders? I'll never scoff at common rock again. With a chorus of beeps and clicks, Green Dwarf's alarms momentarily blare, lights flash, and music blares as the crew enacts their bizarre defense plan against the non-existent invaders. Lister, over the noise. All right, I think that did it. Everyone check your stations. Are the weevils gone? Gradually, the paranoia subsides, and the crew slowly returns to reality, chuckling sheepishly as they realise the absurdity of the situation. Crichton, calming down. Well, either the protocol worked, or it seems that the space nugget had unexpected properties. Rimmer, regaining composure. Right. Perhaps next time a lesser dose would be in order. They all share a relieved laugh, acknowledging the chaos in the aftermath of their cosmic misadventure. And end scene. Interior of Green Dwarf, the cockpit. The crew has gathered to discuss their newfound business venture, still chuckling about their earlier misadventures, but ready to capitalise on their cosmic bounty. Lister. All right, team. We've got a gold mine in our hands here. Time to offload some of this stuff. We need buyers. Who's on our potential clients list then? Rimmer, pointing to a screen. Well, we have a few encounters within range. The Gelfs, Legion, and we've noted traces of the Despair Squid and even the Emo Hawk. They might be interested. Cat, grinning. Imagine the wardrobes I could buy with all those goods. Count me in. Crichton, optimistically. Let's just hope we don't encounter any trade embargoes or intergalactic health regulations. Otherwise, everything is ready for barter. And end scene. Exterior open space, the Gelf Trading Port. The crew arrives at the Gelf Trading Port, a bustling hub of strange and unique beings. They set up a makeshift stall, proudly displaying their space nugget. Lister calling out, Fancy making your intergalactic voyage a bit more relaxed? Come on over and check out our space nug. Special rates for Gelfs. A group of interested Gelfs approach, their various eyes narrowing at the unusual product. Gelf leader, suspicious. Ah, humans. What's this you offer? Rimmer, smiling diplomatically. Only the finest in cosmic relaxation. We call it Stellar Chill. One puff and you'll feel like you're floating through the Helix Nebula. The Gelfs exchange glances, intrigued, and begin negotiations. Then, next scene. Interior in Legion's base. Next, the crew finds themselves in the pristine environment maintained by Legion. The complex and mysterious singular entity appears, expressing curiosity. Legion, his voice echoing. Welcome, travellers. What brings you to my domain? Crichton, bowing slightly. We come bearing gifts, Legion. A substance both rare and enriching. A means to enhance the perpetual puzzle-solving you so deftly pursue. Legion, examining the product. Intriguing. An enhancement of consciousness, you say? I accept an exchange for your knowledge of such compounds. They share a tense yet engaging discussion, eventually leading to a successful transaction. Next scene. Exterior space. Despair Squid Zone. As they approach territory known for the Despair Squid, the crew hatches a plan. Lister. Right, we've had a run-in with this guy before. We need to approach with caution. Think of this as an emotional pick-me-up. Rimmer, encouraged. Maybe we finally have something to combat its negative aura. Here's hoping it has a taste for more chill vibes. They proceed carefully, offering a portion of their product in an attempt to pacify the creature's influence, hoping to show the squid a new perspective. End scene. Exterior space, the polymorph Emohawk territory. Their final stop involves the mischievous polymorph, aka Emohawk, known for stealing emotions. Cat, nervous. If that thing takes my cool, who's gonna even want to look at me? Lister, reassuring. We just need to show it that our stellar chill has more benefits than pinching personalities. Crichton, thoughtful. Perhaps the blend of interstellar aromas could tantalize its receptors enough to keep it satisfied. As they cautiously approach, the Emohawk seems intrigued by the ambience. They manage to leave a small offering in what could be seen as an attempt at interspecies diplomacy. Next scene. Interior of Green Dwarf, the cockpit. Back on Green Dwarf, the crew reviews the outcomes of their trade mission. Rimmer, confidently. I'd say that was a success. No casualties, and we've broadened our client network. Lister. Plus, we have enough resources to keep us going for a while. Good job, everyone. Cat, self-satisfied. All this and I didn't lose my flair? Now that's what I call a win. Crichton. Indeed, sir. A rather unexpected yet profitable turn of events for our merry band of spacefarers. The crew share a triumphant moment, content with their newfound status as intergalactic entrepreneurs, ready for whatever adventures await them next. Next scene. Interior of Green Dwarf, the lounge area. The crew is sprawled comfortably around the lounge. Soft ambient lights bathe the room as they enjoy their space nugget, relaxed and immersed in thoughtful conversation. Lister, leaning back, gazing up. You ever think about how big all that is? I mean, space just goes on and on. Makes you wonder what our little lives mean in all that. Rimmer, sipping a drink. It's a humbling thought. Maybe time isn't just about clocks and calendars, but moments like this one. Quiet, with a hint of cosmic relaxation. Crichton, philosophically. Indeed, sirs. The vastness of space and the flow of time remind us of our impermanence, yet also give us endless possibilities to explore and discover. Cat, stretched out comfortably, daydreaming. Yeah, space and time and all that, but what about style? Imagine the fashion of the future. Zero-gravity suits, self-cleaning outfits. I'll be the best-dressed entity in all dimensions. They all chuckle, feeling the warmth of camaraderie and contemplation. Lister, smiling. Well, whatever's out there, I hope it involves good friends and a decent curry. Rimmer, nodding. And maybe a universe where I'm an admiral or something. Just a thought. Crichton, looking around at them. I believe, sirs, that the essence of our journey is not about reaching a destination, but embracing these shared experiences. Cat, snapping his fingers, grinning. And looking fabulous while doing it. They laugh again, the sound echoing softly around the room, a testament to their enduring spirit and friendship as they drift together through the boundless cosmos. The scene fades with a sense of peace, the crew united in their reflective musings, and the unspoken promise of adventures yet to come. End scene. So there we go. A good time was had by all. Well, what did you think? Let me know in the comments, and remember to like, share and subscribe if you like the content I put out. I've been Shiva Wilson, and we've been campaigning to legalise adult use cannabis in the UK, #LCUK, and you'll see me on the next one. Good night.